what is social media marketing? I'm sure a lot of you already have like one or two ideas on what social media marketing is. But today we're just going to, talk about it more in the area of how it applies to your business or how it applies to you as a business owner. So in the course of this lecture, I'll also share experiences that I've had from owning a brand and how social media marketing has also helped us to grow as a brand. So what is social media marketing? Social media marketing is a powerful way for businesses of all sizes to reach prospects and customers, right? So the word there is powerful, and I would have liked to add free. So it's a free way, it's a powerful way for you as a business owner, irrespective of the kind of size your business falls under. You have social media to enable you to reach your prospects and your customer. Now, from social media marketing, people discover. So people who had no idea of your brand will discover about your brand. They will learn about your brand. They will follow and they will get to shop from you depending on what you are into, right? Now, social media marketing for small business is all about strategic. It's all about being strategic, right? It is not about just creating a business account and posting when you feel like it. I think that's the mistake a lot of business owners make. The fact that they just want to create they feel like, if I have this business idea, all I have to do is go on social media, open the business name, put up a few things, create my logo, and that's it. But it's way beyond that. So it's about being very, very strategic. The word there is strategic because when you're strategic, you're very intentional about what you're putting out there. Okay, so it's not just about creating your business account and posting when you feel like it. So while we're looking at the key fundamentals, so what we're talking about social media marketing, there should be fundamentals, things that will make you know that you're on the right track. And the first thing you want to look at is your profile optimization. So when we're talking about profile optimization, what are we referring to? We're talking about how your bio, your highlights, your SEO, your brand description, how you optimize all of that. Now, when you're looking at your profile, when I come to your page, don't forget that your social media account, and I'll be using Instagram as a very great example. So if you come to if I go to a business account on Instagram, it is the first impression for me. That's the first touch of contact, right? So from the first touch of contact, can I understand what this business is into? Does the profile tell me exactly what this business is into? So hold on, hold on. Let me show you something very quickly. Can you all still see my screen?
Yes, we can.
So when you come to a social media profile, so I'm going to be using Ocarine as an example here, okay? So on our bio, I don't know why this is not loading so fast, so you just bear with us, bear with me. So if you come to the bio right now, you can see that we have defined what we are into, and we stated there on the first, that's the first one, which is SEO for social media. We said men's grooming and self-care. We could have said something else, but we are intentional about defining our brand to just be men's grooming and self-care. It means that your first contact with this brand, you'll be able to know that, okay, they are into men's grooming and self-care. The mistakes a lot of people make, it's more of, instead of you putting a summary of what your brand does in like just this kind of phrase, some people would repeat and put their brand names there again. So imagine here in this place, I'm putting Okori again. I don't think that's you optimizing. That's okay. That's okay. Somebody is saying the wordings are tiny. Just hold on. Let me see if I can zoom in. too much. Is it better now?
Yes, it is.
All right, so we're using men's grooming and self-care. We could have put occurring here, but that would not help us when it comes to search engine optimization in the area of social media. Aside that, we also broke down a few things that we want our audiences to understand here. And we said we naturally formulate products just for men. We didn't say we formulate products for people. We specified the category of people we actually provide our products for or formulate our products for. So we are saying we formulate products for men's skin, beard, and hair. And we talked about other aspects, which is the self-care and mental health. And then if you go to our bio, there are more CTAs. There's a CTA that says click below to shop, right? So profile optimization is more of just ensuring that you're doing the right thing and you're optimizing your profile the best way you can by using the right image for your profile picture, by optimizing your username and also the your SEO area. So your SEO area is where I talked about, that's the name. So on Instagram, you have username and you have name. So what people will now do is that the username is, for instance, let's say Sokosq, and then your name will still be Sokosq. So when you're optimizing your bio, you're supposed to emphasize in a few words what you're into. So we'll go in posting. So another fundamental of social media marketing is posting. So posting has its own formula, which we're going to also talk about later. Posting and content marketing. So you're supposed to post content that are useful, content that are entertaining, content that are relevant, content that falls into the categories of photos, videos, live, IG lives, and so on and so forth. Another fundamental is engaging. When you're kickstarting your social media marketing journey, some people will just post and run away. Are you engaging with people? Like, are you liking? Are you sharing? Are you commenting? Are you replying your customers? And so on and so forth. Then we have another fundamental of social media marketing, which is advertising. Advertising is it's just another aspect of social media that allows you to reach people, like you reach a wider reach, you have a wider reach of people that you can attract to your brand, and so on and so forth. So we also have measuring. So there's no way you're going to do your social media marketing and you do not measure how your, let's say, your post, your campaign works. So you need to use your measuring analytical tools. Most times I use the tools that are provided for free. I'm talking about the Instagram analytical tools. This will help you to understand exactly how your content or how things you're doing are actually working. And then you'll be able to say, oh, this worked for me better. How do I repeat it? So these are the 5 fundamentals of social media marketing. So we're going to go to the next point, which is just elaborating on what we're going to be focusing on today. We're going to focus on how do I even begin? Yes, I've heard about social media marketing. Everybody is talking about it, but how do I begin? We're going to talk about that today. And then we're going to also talk about a few practical tips on how to grow your business using social media marketing. And then we're going to have the questions and answers section, right? So let's start. How do I begin? Now, you want to start social media marketing for your business. Let me now go back to say that social media marketing is one traction channel that is very easy and it's free to use. There are so many other things you can do as a business owner when it comes to digital marketing. Everybody, you probably have heard of SEO, you've heard of PPC, you've heard of display advertising, you've heard of Google Ads and so many other things. But when it comes to social media, it is one of the easiest things you can actually try as a business owner, and it is free. When I mean free, they don't charge for you to open your business. It's free for you to learn. It's free for you to optimize your business. It's free for you to understand how it works. and it converts. A lot of people are saying, a lot of people have positive reviews about how social media has actually impacted their businesses. Now, back to what I was saying, how do I begin? Okay, I have this business idea. I have opened my business page. I've optimized my profile. I have the right things. When somebody comes to my page, they understand what I'm into. But how do I now start marketing, right? The first thing you want to do is you need to understand your audience. That is, in fact, if you don't understand your audience, please don't even bother opening an Instagram page. You need to know, who am I talking to? Am I talking to A, Mr. A, or am I talking to Mrs. B? If I'm talking to Mr. A, what are Mr. A's problems? How can I actually provide a solution to whatever he's going through? What platforms do they use? What platform does Mr. A use? Where did they go to? Where did they go to? Why did they go on them? Sorry. When do they go there? What content do they like? Who else are they following, and more? Now, when you understand your audience, things like when you're selecting your content marketers, when I'm talking about, your content creators, influencers, should I post more videos? Should I post pictures? Should I post news? Should I post informative content? When you understand, this is even the major, this is the starting point, knowing your audience. Because when you know your audience, you would know who you're talking to. You will know, okay, which of the social media platforms would they prefer? Would they prefer Instagram? Would they prefer Twitter? Would they prefer Facebook? You're looking at working with moms, for instance. Let's say moms starting from the ages of 40 to 60. You're looking at maybe Facebook, because maybe from your experience and from your survey, you'll be able to understand that, okay, Facebook would be the best platform for you to use. So it means that as a business owner, you're supposed to take a step back and understand certain things before you jump into social media marketing. The second thing here is brand identity. Brand identity. What is the message? What message are you trying to convey to your audience? Are you trying to tell them that you are a skincare brand that only deals with acne? Or what exactly are you trying to say? Are you trying to sell a product that does a particular thing? You need to be able to define what you're trying to convey to your audience in simple terms. Don't try to make it very complicated. Be very clean. Like for Ocarina, one of the most important things we're trying to do is we're trying to we're trying to create awareness around the fact that self-care is not feminine, right? And that we're also trying to create awareness around mental health. So these are messages we're trying to convey to our audience. So if you're looking at our content, we are working with these messages. We're working around what we are trying to convey. Now, how do you want them to feel when they are viewing your content? This is very key. Do you want them to feel like, oh, I can relate? This would help you to understand how you need your directions and so on and so forth. So your content strategy, which I'm going to still emphasize on as we go on in this lecture, is just how are you particular and intentional about your content? Are you just posting as it comes, or you're posting based on an intentional strategy? You're posting based on quality over quantity, right? So the next one is regular activity. These are ways you can start your social media marketing, and these are successful measures that has been taken in the past among several business owners, and they've seen amazing results, right? So if you're looking at regular activities, we're talking about how often are you going to post? How consistent are you trying to be? You need to post regularly. You need to stay on top of your engagement with your business owners. You need to engage. Don't just post and run away. Sometimes when you post, take a while, stay on the social media for a while, let's say 10 minutes, try and engage with a few people and so on and so forth. So let's go to the last word, which is inbound approach. Don't just use social media to pitch the business. Focus on adding the value through useful and interesting content. Do not forget that every day people are posting. So you need to make sure that on your own end, you're not just being too salesy. You're also trying to add value. Nobody wants to follow someone that doesn't add value to their lives. That's why you will see people always on following and following daily. So you want to be amongst that brand, those brands that adds values to people's lives. So you want to add values through your content, and you want to ensure that your content is interesting and you're building up those around you. This in turn will organically promote your business and others will promote it for you. One of our secrets that we've used in Okori is relatable content type. We don't joke with it because we've seen how it has worked for us in the past and how people always relate and share it for us. So it helps us to just even get cheap and easy brand awareness. So let's go into the practical tips now. Now we're talking about how do I now I know how to start. How do I practicalize this? What are the practical tips that would help me when it comes to social media marketing? The first thing that I'm going to talk about is invest in your content marketing. Everything you see on social media is content. Anything you see on social media is content. So if you're going to be a business owner on social media, it means that your content must be top notch. Now, the big question is, what are you posting? Are you just posting or you are intentionally posting? Are these contents relatable, promotional, educational, or do you just post what you feel like? Do you actually have plans? Do you have a content plan? Do you have a content calendar? Do you have something that directs you? Do you have a goal, like a monthly goal, like, okay, this month I want to promote this particular product and I want to increase my followers to this particular level. Okay, what kind of content am I going to put out there? Are you intentional about your content? Content is king. From experience, and my journey as growing my business, content marketing has actually taken occurring from 0 to 100. Social media marketing is what I have been doing. Literally, I've not tried any other. For now, I'm just trying to venture into other things. But since the past 1 year of this business, I haven't tried any other form of marketing aside social media marketing. So we're going to go to the next, just hold on. So these are some of Occurring's results from intentional content marketing. This post this result I'm showing you right now, they are not promoted content. These are organic results from intentional content marketing. It shows you that when it comes to content, we're not rushing to post. At the same time, we want to be consistent, but we prefer quality over quantity. We want to make sure that every content that we put out there has an agenda to, or like a goal to achieve. So these are some of the results. You can see the plays, the likes, comments, the shares, the saves on all of this. Okay. So we're just going to go to the next slide. So this is one rule I always use when it comes to content. We're talking about content a lot more because it's one of the major things when it comes to social media marketing, because content on social media is everything. That's practically what you see every day. So this is one of the rules that I use for Occurring. 70% information, so informational, rather. We have education, we have how to use important updates, and so on and so forth. 20% should focus on emotional, so your company's culture, your core values, milestones, fun, inspirational. Why 10% will be promotional? You can see that the salesy part has the lowest percentage, but the truth is that some business owners reverse this whole rule, and 70% is the promotional, 10% is the informational. So please, I would leave this presentation with Glory so that she can share with everybody, so you can just go through it one more time. So this is the 70 to 20 to 10% rule. Now, the second tip after investing in your content marketing is the second tip in investing in your social media marketing or starting your social media marketing is that you need to jump on Reels. Reels are proving to be a good business strategy for business owners nationwide, in fact, worldwide. Trust me when I say it works. In fact, most of our content, like Occurring's content, are Reels. Now you must understand that a lot of people post reels daily. The big question is, why should I engage with your own reel? As a business owner, don't forget you are not even a business owner. You're not an individual that is posting reel. As a business owner, what would make me to stop and watch your reel? What will make me to stop and engage with your reel? I know it looks like, where do I start from? The truth is, it just has to do with intentionality and you researching a lot and finding out, because most of the, I strongly believe that content is we recycle content. It's not really new. Somebody has probably done it before. So when you research, when you have people who you look up to, you have competitors and so on and so forth, and you do your survey, you will be able to come up with ideas that would help you to create content that people would engage with. So the next tip for you to easily have a successful social media marketing is stay up to date on trends. Don't be in 2020 when social media trends are already doing 2023 things. One of the best things you can do for your business is to stay in tune with what is happening in the digital world. Read blogs, magazines, books, publications about what is really happening. Join groups. If you don't enjoy reading, you can join groups, because in these groups, people tend to send new trends, attend events, and network with others that are working in the same field, so that you can remain and stay on the current trend, because it would really help you. The fifth tip on how you can have a successful social media marketing campaign is that you need to take advantage of paid advertising. The same way I've done content marketing and invested a lot in content marketing, I also do not play with my paid advertising. So social media advertising is a cost-effective way to drive traffic and increase conversions on your website, on your Instagram page, through Facebook ads, Twitter ads, Instagram ads. All these ads would help you to reach people that your natural content market, your organic content marketing would not reach. Of course, you're trying to reach people through, you're targeting people through location, interest, and so on and so forth. But one successful tip on how you can have a successful social media marketing campaign is to jump on or take advantage of paid advertising. Tip number 6, which we've already talked about before, is to optimize your account, SEO. So social media also has SEO. During Valentine, I'm pretty sure most people on social media at that period they were just searching for Valentine gifts for this, Valentine gifts for her, Valentine gifts for him. So if you had changed your bio or like optimized it during that period, you would have been seen as one of the businesses that has gifts, or gifts that's into gift items, or that is selling gift items for as regards Valentine. So optimizing your account cannot be undermined. So you have to focus on optimizing your account and using hashtags. Hashtags this is one of the things that I used to use when I started occurring, but over time you begin to filter the kind of hashtags you'll be using until you understand your brand and you are able to like settle down properly using a particular category of hashtag. So I think this is the last tip that I have. So make sure you include strong call to actions when you're into your social media marketing campaigns. Imagine you post something and at the end of the post, there is nothing for me to do. It's just a post. If you say something like, oh, you post something and you're saying, send me a DM with this phrase, so I know that you're interested in this, people will take particular action to do that. So this is an important tip to always include call to actions whenever you're doing your social media marketing campaigns. So these are a few things that business owners are currently saying about social media. Someone said social media helped my business to expand in an unimaginable way. Another person said social media is one of my best traction channel where my business makes lots of money. Somebody else said my business now has an authority in my industry and niche. That's all because of social media. So this was just a very brief introduction, and I'm open to questions. If anybody has any question, I'm open to questions.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I learned a lot. I learned a whole lot, literally. So guys, please, if you have questions, so that we don't make this place rowdy and disorganized, let's drop our questions in the comments or in the chat section. We'll read them out one after the other, and then later we'll attend to them. Please drop your questions in the chat box. I can see a question in the chat box. How can I generate content ideas? Sorry, Eta, before you go ahead, let me just say something about this. So we have a short a class on content generation or content creation, literally. I think that will be happening sometime late this week or beginning of next week. I can't remember the dates. So please, if you are curious about how to generate content or how you can create content for your brand and the likes, we'll have a class on that. So yes, there are some questions in the chat box. Do you want me to read them one by one, Eta, or?
Okay. So for the how can I generate content ideas, you've already answered that. So Lucky, please attend the content marketing class. It's going to be very interesting. So somebody is asking what's niche? So I'm going to explain it in a very, very simple way. So niche is more of, let's say, let me use this example. There's a national cake, and this national cake, everybody is eating out of it, and they're all, let's say the national cake is into skincare. Now, you cutting a part of that national cake, which is the skincare, right? And saying, you know what, I'm just going to focus on kiddies, like children's skin, or sorry, children's skincare. That's you now taking a niche out of that national cake. You're taking a part of it. So niche is just more of you taking a part of what is popular and just saying, you know what, out of this whole general thing, I'm going to just take a segment of this particular product or service or this particular industry and focus on it. I hope that was very clear. So somebody said, how do I know the right hashtags to use for my business? So this question is very interesting because hashtag has to do with research. So I'm pretty sure your business is not, maybe might be new or not new, but you have people who are currently doing something similar. So you do general researches, like what are these people using? How does it apply to my own brand? So you have to go through the process of researching and just gathering hashtags that would be useful for your business. So you're using hashtags based on categories, based on the post you're making. So if you're posting, let's say you're into skincare and you're posting something that has to do with hair product, so you use hashtags that are based on the products you're posting. So hair products in Lagos, and so on and so forth. So you use hashtags based on what you're posting, based on different categories such as location, interests, engagement level, because hashtags also has engagement level. So I hope that was also clear. Okay. Somebody said, would you advise a business to use multiple social media channels or focus on one? So if you have enough team members that can work on these other social media platforms, I would advise that you can do that as long as it works for your brand. Don't forget that I said at the beginning that you needed to understand your audience and know the platforms where they would hang, like where they actually chill, or platforms they prefer. So if you've been able to shortlist the platforms that you feel your audiences would prefer, of course you can have and use multiple social media channels. Most times I don't advise small business owners to go all out and use all the social media channels as much as possible, because we are talking about consistency. But if you have enough time and you feel like you'll be able to maximize all these channels at the same time, please go ahead and use that. I hope I've been able to answer that. Somebody said, can we have examples of content strategy? So that will also be discussed in the content marketing class, Ogunjobi. So somebody said, thank you so much for the class. Please, how can I get my target audience? Because I sell cooked foods. Okay, so if you're selling cooked foods, what kind of, I'm very particular about niching down. So if you're selling cooked food, are you selling cooked food for pregnant women? Are you selling cooked food for children or for people who are in the office and they don't have time to cook during the, do you understand? You have to be able to analyze your business in a way that, who am I actually trying to sell this cooked food to? I won't advise that you sell to everybody. If you have the capacity to do that, then go ahead. I always believe that you should be able to niche down and be able to define who you want to actually sell this, let's say your food, who do you really want to sell to? So you can take your time and actually analyze this. So somebody said, hold on, let me see, blah, blah, blah. Social media marketing. Okay, somebody said, this lecture made social media marketing seem easy, but in reality, it's not. So how consistent do we need to create content for our business to grow, especially for new startups? Okay, so Ada, I'm going to talk from experience because Okuri is we're just a year old and a few months, and we have grown so fast using just content marketing. So you're saying, how consistent do you need to do? As I would say, as much as possible, try to show up every day. But when you're trying to show up every day, make sure that the content you're putting out there has quality. Don't forget I talked about it must add value. It must be very informative. You understand? So as much as possible, but don't start with something you cannot finish. If you feel like you can be consistent with posting 3 times a day, please go ahead and stick to 3 times. Over time, you can now advance to 4. If you feel like you post twice a day, Tuesdays and Thursdays, please stick to that. Do not pack so many days when you know you will not be able to be consistent. Okay, so Ada, I hope, and don't look at social media marketing as something that is very difficult. Just take it a day at a time, right? What am I supposed to do tomorrow? Have a content plan, have a social media plan. And I'm also going to be, I'm sure Sokosq is going to give you, maybe provide an access where I can also answer questions, or I can still help people after this lecture. But just know that to be consistent is just a step at a time. Do not put pressure on yourself. Just create healthy systems that would help you to be consistent. Okay. Somebody said, how do a new business owner get the right audience? I think I already mentioned it. You have to understand what industry are you into, Mary? Are you into clothing? If you're into clothing, what kind of clothing do you sell? Are you selling Ankara? If you're selling Ankara, are you selling it for just people who will be going to church, or you're trying to sell Ankara to people who like African prints? So by the time it starts from your business idea. What are you trying to do? Am I trying to sell nylon bags? The nylon bags, is it for people who sell foods, or people who are into gifts, or people who do deliveries? You understand? By the time you do that, when you identify what business you want to go into, you'll be able to just put yourself in a position where you can ask yourself questions like, okay, this nylon bags I want to sell, who do I really want to sell it to? Which category of people needs this nylon bags more? So you'll be able to identify your audience by asking questions over and over. Somebody said, can we get steps on how to develop profile optimization for a new brand? Okay, I'll send that later. It's not, that one is, it has to be like maybe a PDF that I'll send. Somebody said, please, can we pay TV channel for more customers without okay, so I can't really advise. I've always been the preacher of organic customers. When I mean organic, I've not tried TV. I don't know, I've not tried TV channel to get more customers. So when you mean TV channel, do you mean a blog? Because I've worked with some Instagram blogs, maybe like a few blogs on Instagram, like Sabi Radio, and so many, let's say Funny African Pics, Cracks TV, and so on and so forth. So yes, I pay those blogs to post my content on. on their pages, and then of course I get return on investment. That's conversions from those posts that they made on their pages. But that's me, and that's Instagram blogs. So I don't know if that's what you're trying to say in terms of your TV channel, but if that's what you're trying to say, then yes, I pay blogs to advertise on. Thank you for the class. So Nkechi says, thank you for the class. My question is how to navigate two IG accounts. Example, you own an account for fashion and another for mental health. So Nkechi, I'll be very honest with you. Social media marketing requires time and commitment, and the ability for you to be able to differentiate which one is of a priority to you would help as well. So if your fashion brand is important, not that you are going to neglect the other one, but you focus on the one that is more important, and you also attend to the other one that is also less important. So what am I trying to say in a nutshell? You have a content plan for the fashion brand, and you also have a content plan for the mental health brand, right? So for the fashion brand, you can schedule your post as well as the mental health brand. But if your fashion brand is more important than your mental health brand, it means that you're going to focus more on your fashion brand and then less on your mental health. But just so that you can be consistent, you need content plan for both your fashion brand and your mental health brand, and then you can schedule it and just go to bed. Because I've worked as a social media market manager before, and I've managed over 7 to 10 accounts, and this is what I always do. I just have content plans and I schedule my posts. Now Instagram has even made it a lot easier. You can schedule your post on Instagram itself. You don't have to go to a third party app, or you don't have to do all of that. So yeah. Somebody said, thank you so much for the class. Please, how can I get my target audience? Okay, I've already answered this. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Somebody said, how do I increase my followers? How do I run ads to generate more sales? Thank you so much. Okay, so you're saying how to increase. So from my own experience, my followers grew based on my kind of the content I was posting, like my engaging content, my relatable content, when people share it. And also, of course, my followers also grew as a result of the ads I was running as well. So people see the ads, they could come to the page, they like what they see, they follow. So how to run ads to generate more sales. So I think that particular, Glory, can you confirm if there's a lecture to train on that
Yes,
aspect?
please. For ads, I don't know if you all have gone through the timetable I shared. There are classes, not even a class. There are classes for running ads from scratch to finish. So we are going to properly talk about running of ads.
All right.
So
So
next week.
All right. So I think I've answered everybody's question. All right. So is there also so there's going to be a small assessment. So for everyone who I'll be expecting that you create a content plan for 1 week for your business. So Glory, you're also going to talk about the template you have. Do you want to elaborate on that now? Or?
Yes. All right. Hi, everyone. So the assignment here is to create a content calendar, right? It's a right calendar, right?
Yes, please. For their
right.
business.
A content calendar for your businesses. That is create a content calendar. What do you want to post? How when do you want to post it? Literally create a content calendar. But the thing is that we have a free template that we are going to share with everybody who everybody who is joining this 23 days of digital marketing for business owners, a free template that we have created already that we're going to share with everybody. So this template is probably going to it's actually going to guide you in attempting this assessment that it has given us. So probably I will talk about more on this probably on the group chat. I'll probably elaborate more on this and how it to go, and then when we'll be able to submit our assessments.
All right, thank you so much. Would that be all? I don't think there's any other question from the chat box.
Yes. All right, that's all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ita. Thank you so much. I learned a whole lot, and I know that a lot of people learned as much as I did. Thank you so much for your time. We're so happy that you're able to take out time to come and teach us and share a little out of the knowledge that you have. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All
And
right,
thank
guys.
everyone for joining. Have a lovely evening. Bye, guys.
Was he okay, Ada?
Yes, you are a teacher. So, saying that, it's your